and it floated like a dream.
Topical questions and issues provided under Standing Order 39. We'll begin with Deputy Dessie Ellis for the Minister.
Minister, An Saol Foundation is a charity that supports individuals who are unlikely to ever fully recover from their traumatic injuries and will therefore require lifelong support, as well as supporting families affected by severe acquired brain injury, sABI. They are strong advocates for those affected by severe brain injury, ensuring both respect and dignity for those suffering from this condition. They work with some of the most vulnerable people in society who are unfortunately often left behind by the health service. They also work to change the misconceptions around acquired brain injury and towards greater independence for those affected by this condition. An Saol works to educate the public and public representatives about the needs of the people with severe acquired brain injury and the importance of early and intensive rehabilitation. They are a strong voice for those who have difficulty advocating for themselves. The Foundation promotes access to the proper therapies, specialised care and rehabilitation for affected individuals. An Saol Foundation also assists the families of those affected by severe acquired brain injury by offering them advice, support and providing various resources to help families deal with the challenges of having a loved one affected by severe acquired brain injury. An Saol Foundation are to the forefront in providing therapies to help people improve and heal. They are also involved in developing innovative rehabilitation programmes. A recent report from the HSE clearly outlined the necessity for the services provided by An Saol. It also determined that these services needed to grow and should be provided with the funding to do so. They have developed a number of pilot projects to demonstrate the effectiveness of specific rehabilitation approaches. An example of this is the Chalk on Saol project. This is An Saol Foundation's National Centre for Life and Living with a Severe Acquired Brain Injury. The centre offers therapy, respite and transitional living hubs, the goal being to help people with severe acquired injury to live fulfilling lives. This will be a state-of-the-art facility and one of the few such centres in Europe, and it will be the only one in Ireland. The goal is to have an interconnected centre for highly specialised services, specifically aimed at those with a severe acquired brain injury. It is proposed to have a social hub, a therapy hub, a respite hub and a transitional shared living hub. A site has been identified in Ballymun for the project. Despite the wide support this project has received, there is no certainty that capital funding will be allocated in 2025 to build Chalk on Saol. To date, about €500,000 worth of design and planning effort has been contributed pro bono by Irish firms to prepare the application for planning permission and submitted to DCC. DCC have made land available in Ballymun for the National Centre, and An Saol has been working closely with the HSE, who are supportive of the project. Since this report was published by the HSE, An Saol have had a cut in real terms to their funding. No adjustments have been made to ensure that funding is brought in line with inflation, resulting in An Saol having to scale down on services and affecting staff. The Minister for Disability has on several occasions over the past 2 years committed to provide funding for a design-build contract for Chalk on Saol, but this funding has still not been made available to the Foundation. An Saol started to work with the HSE on the capital grant application process about 2 years ago, but no formal progress has been made on the capital grant application process. The project has still not formally passed the initiation stages, and a national meeting where the application was to be reviewed in April 24 was cancelled with no date yet being set.
Minister, please to respond.
Well, first of all, on behalf of Minister for Disability, Minister Hildegard Naughton, I'm going to take this. I'd like to thank Deputy Ellis for raising this important issue and for offering the opportunity to respond. And indeed, I know of his personal interest in this particular matter. He has been a long-time campaigner around these issues in his time in this House. Organisations such as An Saol Foundation are invaluable to the disability sector, and indeed, as you are aware, An Saol provides specialised care, rehabilitation and community support, empowering individuals with severe acquired brain injuries to lead fulfilling and independent lives. And their contributions are deeply valued by the Government, as they are indeed by the Deputy. HSE Capital and Estates is engaging with An Saol Foundation to assist with the progressing their capital project proposal. The HSE has advised that the Department that progress is being made regarding securing a site for the proposed project, and an application for planning permission has been lodged. The HSE has prioritised funding for the site purchase and initial design cost, allocating approximately 1.3 million through the capital allocation process. So, subject to the timely receipt of all required documentation, the HSE anticipates that this project will continue to progress smoothly through the necessary stages of approval and development. The HSE is working with An Saol to advise on the requirements that need to be met at each step of the process, and this includes progressing the project through the approvals process for both the property acquisition and the capital funding. It is important to note all new capital projects are subject to national HSE approval process, which in turn are informed by the Government's National Infrastructure Guidelines. Projects are also subject to prioritisation within available resources. The HSE Capital Plan for 2025 focused on projects being progressed this year, and 27 million has been allocated for capital projects in disability services in Budget 25. This represents a 4 million increase on 2024 capital expenditure is due to grow over the coming years. An assessment of the current infrastructure, as well as the need for additional capital investment into the future, aligned to the Action Plan for Disability Services 24 to 26 and the Roadmap for Children's Services, its key objective for Government and the Department of Children, Disability and Equality. To progress this, the Department of Children, Disability and Equality has asked the HSE to bring forward a disability-specific multi-annual capital strategy this year that will help identify the medium-term infrastructure needs for disability services. A senior and dedicated lead within the HSE has been appointed to lead development of the disability capital strategy and to ensure that there is a strategic, directed growth in investment and delivery of capital projects, and that capital projects are delivered on time, on budget, and that value for money is being achieved. The Action Plan for Disability Services 2024 to 2026 has very ambitious 3-year targets for increasing residential placement capacity, accelerating the rate of decongestion, as well as for providing new day service places. While meeting these targets will be dependent on increasing staffing complements within services, providing the necessary capital infrastructure will be of huge importance also. Independent living and housing will also be a major feature of the forthcoming National Disability Strategy. It must be noted that continued cross-government engagement, particularly with the Department of Housing, Local Government and Heritage, will be a critical component of success.
Thank you, Minister. Deputy.
Thanks, Minister. It is clear that the site is identified and that money is supposed to be allocated 1.3 million. But there was a real urgency here. As you know, Minister, people with severe acquired brain injuries are often left behind and end up in nursing homes with little or no supports or even therapy. Hence, their lives go through unimaginable misery and loneliness and despair. An Saol offers them and their families hope and a way forward. I visited An Saol myself and I saw for myself the work that they're doing. This is really new and really fantastic work, something that's not been done in this country, and it's the only one of its kind in this country, and there's only a few in Europe. This would be a massive asset to the people of Ireland, to the people of the country. And it goes in 2 phases. The first phase would be in dealing with building the unit with all the proper equipment. It's highly, highly technical equipment that gives people a chance and gives them a bit of a life and something to look forward to. And then the second phase would be also to provide accommodation so that families could travel, because as you know, people with this disability have severe needs, and it's very difficult to get them accommodation. So the second phase would be to house them, plus the person in question. So it is really, really a fantastic project which should be advanced. And I think there is an urgency to do this because they have a waiting list and they are being underfunded. And that needs to be looked at. And I would urge the Minister to push this, and I'd urge the HSE to come on board more and deliver on this and make the case to the government for the capital funding that's required to do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy. Minister.
Yeah, thanks very much. And the Minister is very aware, and of course you will appreciate too, Deputy, that the fact that there's a commitment in the first instance in relation to the planning and the initial acquisition of the site is a clear intent. And clearly, notwithstanding the other aspects that I've already identified, once the government has committed money in the first instance, it would be the natural expectation that it will follow that the project will be built. And you have, in fairness, in a very direct and open way, based on your intimate knowledge and understanding of the project, have set out a very clear case, a very comprehensive case, and I'm sure that level of commitment you'll continue to hold government to account on this over the coming weeks and months to ensure that a facility like this will progress. And as I said, notwithstanding the various different elements that I have already outlined, it is important that we progress with that. So, as I said, the government remains steadfast in its commitment to improving disability services and ensuring that individuals and disabilities and their families receive the necessary support. Government made very clear in the programme for government that disability was now a major feature of government's commitment and implementation. So, by implementing strategic policies, increasing financial investment and fostering a cross-departmental approach, government and the Department of Children, Disability and Equality aim to build an inclusive society where everyone has equal opportunities to prosper. And I know that's at the core of your interest in this. And organisations like An Saol are invaluable to the disability sector because they do bring forward some imaginative ideas and they do drive it from that perspective. And the Department of Children, Disability and Equality is dedicated to ensuring that such organisations receive the necessary funding and the policy support to continue growing and expanding their services. Their efforts strengthen the overall disability support infrastructure, creating a more inclusive and supportive society for all. Indeed, Ireland's commitment to disability rights is demonstrated by its ratification of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. That was done, as you know, in March 18. So the ongoing support for organisations like An Saol aligns with the objectives of UNCRPD, reflecting the government's dedication to implementing its provision at national level.
Thank you very much. We now move to question number 3, Deputy Malcolm Byrne, to the Minister for Public Expenditure and National Development.